I'm Belleruth Naparstek. I'm a clinical social worker who started Health Journeys back in 1989. And we were selling cassettes then for chemotherapy. That was our big start. So we're going to use the time to answer some commonly asked questions. And I love the first one that I have here because it's something we always get a lot of around the holidays. And this is December 6th. So, here we go. I'm gonna read the question and then I'm gonna give the answer that I think is a good answer. So, dear Belleruth, this year I'm a basket case over the holidays. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm nervous and out of sorts most of the time. I bite my husband's head off even though he's a good man who helps me out and doesn't deserve this. I burst into tears at nothing. As usual, I'm having my sisters and their families over for Christmas dinner. It's been fun in the past, but not this year. My mother died last year, and that's probably why. This will be our first Christmas without her. What would you suggest I listen to get me through this? I'm dreading the holidays. I wish I could just run away and come back when it's all over. Sad Sally from Syracuse. Okay, so Sad Sally has had a recent death. We also get letters and emails that say, you know, this year, for some reason, this loss of my husband, brother, mother is just getting to me. That happens a lot. So it doesn't even have to be a recent death. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, holidays, period, are a time for a recapitulation of all the losses you've ever had, because it's a point in time that you remember a family and significant memories. So, okay, so here's what I said to Sally. First thing I said was, oh, and she wanted to know what audios would you suggest get me through this? That was really her question. I'm dreading the holidays. What can I do? So I said, look, Sally, I have some audio suggestions for you, but first I'd like to give you my thoughts. So my first thought was, you know, you probably could just run away. Has it occurred to you to just run away? Take your nice husband and go somewhere else and not celebrate Christmas. I suggest that not because I think it's a particularly great idea, might be, but I think the possibility that you could run away and not have to do everything as usual could be a very liberating thought to you. And then you might want to choose to do it anyway. But don't assume you have to do things every year the same way, especially a tough year like this. So, you have choices here. Another thing I think you should consider is, okay, if you don't want to cancel the whole deal, if you decide that's not really what you want to do, and by the way, I wouldn't be surprised because who else shares this loss with you feeling it pretty much the way you do, but your siblings. I mean, it's going to be a miserable year for them too. And by the way, if everybody's going around happy, making like this is going to be a jolly Christmas, you will be miserable, I promise you. And you will stay miserable longer. So don't do that. That brings me to another thought, which is you may just be very reluctant or fearful about feeling your sadness. And this Christmas is clearly designed to elicit a lot of sad feelings. And you know what? Once you start feeling them, you should just feel them and share them and not try to hide them. It will cost you so much energy covering up and making believe this is a happy occasion that you will get more depressed. And by the way, you're depressed. You're grief-stricken and you're also depressed. I'm saying depressed too because you're not just sad. You're irritated and angry and annoyed with everything and put upon. That's more like depressed. Okay, so you could cancel the whole thing, run away with your nice husband. You could not cancel the whole thing and have it anyway, but be honest about it and feel sad when you feel sad. Share your feelings with your siblings. They're going to be having all kinds of feelings too. This reminds me of something I learned from a client of mine who I was crazy about. She was a cranky old curmudgeon. She had just lost her husband, whom she didn't even particularly like, or so she thought. They fought all the time. She initially came to see me to complain about her husband and figure out what to do with him. He dies suddenly, and she is absolutely gobsmacked by how sad she feels about this husband being dead. So she had this sudden realization that she really loved this guy, that she misses him, and she feels at a loss, and it just knocked her out. And she said to me, when she's walking around in the supermarket, she's annoyed by everybody and everything, and she just wants to say to perfect strangers, look, my husband just died. Either be very nice to me or leave me alone. Those are your choices. Anyway, I think you feel that too, and probably your siblings will feel that somewhat. But maybe you most of all, because you're the one who makes the dinner every year, so you're probably the oldest and or the most responsible feeling for the family. So what you might want to do also is to say to your siblings, look, this is a hard year for me. Can you help me out? I would like you to make dinner at your house, or I'd like you to bring done dishes over at my house, and I'd like the kids to all serve and clean up. I don't want to do much. Or you could go to a restaurant. Go to a restaurant, have somebody else serve and clean up. But make allowances for yourself because you need them and deserve them. So I digressed from the original question, which was, do you have anything that could help me with this? Yeah, but you're still gonna feel sad. So no magic bullets, but our Ease Grief audio is very comforting over time. But again, warning, it's designed to make you cry. So if you're not ready to feel your feelings, don't use it, okay? We have something called Heartbreak, Abandonment, and Betrayal. That may be over the top. I mean, your mother didn't abandon you, she didn't betray you, she just died. But it can feel the same. And we can just suggest depression. Just do something with the depression imagery, which also, it's designed to elevate your energy levels, feel more supported and nourished, and elicit the memories, the sweet, loving, nourishing memories of your mother or anybody else. And by the way, my last point, I'm almost done, I promise, but my last point is, if your mother was difficult, if she was not the easiest person to love, it's going to make your grief more complicated even than plain old simple grief, which is no day at the beach either. But if you have a difficult relationship with your mother and she dies, then you just have to process a lot of things that involve probably forgiving yourself for not feeling the way you think you should be feeling, and for, if you can, forgiving her too. So I guess that's all I've got on this score. But it's complicated, and there are a lot of people who do not have recent losses who are going to be triggered by the holidays. And just expect it, be tolerant of yourself, and as my old curmudgeon friend says, ask people to either be very nice to you or please leave you alone.